Welcome to a brand new series on my channel, my Road to Glory quarterback, Ryker Sterling. I've told you guys for the past few months that once my Oklahoma Dynasty series was done, I was going to do a Road to Glory player. I didn't know what position there for a while, but I finally decided I'm just going to do a quarterback. That to me is the most fun. You get to be the playmaker pretty much. You have the ball in your hand every play, so that is why I'm doing that. But this video is going to show every touchdown from his senior year because that's really the only one you can play. And I'll tell you, it's quite a lot. And then at the end of this video, you will see where I picked for him to go to college and everything. You guys kind of voted on that. And what I mean by that is I put out the update video with the straw poll saying like where or what kind of series do you want me to do. And you guys heavily voted towards one option, so that's what I'm going to do. And don't go look at the results. Don't spoil it. Let's just stick around here, and we'll see by the end of the video where I decide to take Ryker Sterling. But obviously, I mean, we're doing pretty good here in high school, and I didn't want to do what I've done the past Road to Glories, where I've made like I think I made every high school game one video. That to me, it was just boring, kind of, because like you knew I was just going to probably walk in there and slaughter them with whoever I was using. So that is why I decided to do this. I do obviously have the touchdown counter up in the top left, and then I also have all the stats written down for that. And I believe this is game 2, but in game 1 we ended up with 446 yards, 6 TDs, a pick, and a rushing touchdown. So I wasn't paying attention and just noticed that it just now switched to game 2, so I do apologize for that. But game 1 was a lot of fun. I did make him an option quarterback, I think, because I wanted him to be fast, because I got used to Corey Cannon in my Oklahoma Dynasty. So I did want him to be kind of fast, so that's why I went with option. We don't really run a lot of options. I audible out of them because most of the options in high school are complete and total garbage. But as you can see, we're up to 9 touchdowns, and it's just our second game. There's only 8 games, I think, in this season. So I wanted to do a shorter year, but I didn't want to do like 7 games. I don't like having an odd number of games, if that makes sense. I normally do 10. I think with the first Road to Glory I did, which was Damian Fleming, quarterback for Colorado. Yeah, stupid name. I think I did 10 high school games, and I think with Kevin Harper, who was the running back, I think I did 10 high school games. I'm not going to guarantee that, but I think that's what we did. And it was, you know, a lot of fun playing those series, but they got kind of boring. And I think that was because with the Colorado series, I don't know, I just got bored of that one, with that quarterback series. I don't know really what happened. I think that was like around the time my channel was starting to grow because of like me posting NCAA 14 really early, but it was before the Oklahoma Dynasty, and I think my commentary was a lot worse than it is now. Like, I don't think I'm good at commentating stuff yet, or great or whatever, but it was a lot worse back then, and I think I just got bored of it, and it wasn't live comm, so it was kind of like, yeah. Now this one isn't live comm, but the rest of this series will be live commentary, along with the offensive coordinator series that I'm going to be doing. And the reason behind that is I just think live comm makes it a lot more interesting. And I just noticed that it went to game 3. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the stats from game 2. We went 10 of 16, 241 yards, 2 TDs, no picks, 114 rushing yards, and 4 touchdowns. So game 1 we had 7 rushing yards, and then game 2 we had 114. So we kind of go all over the place. And then obviously this school, we got off to a fast start, and we're slaughtering them very fast. We're in the 4th quarter now, and it's about to be like 42-7. Obviously, you know every play at this point is going to be a touchdown. I've already told you that. But now we're on to game 4, so let me go and tell you game 3 stats. We went 12 of 21, 452 yards, 4 TDs, 3 interceptions, which was quite a bit, obviously, 42 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. And we won 49-7. And then this game, I think I just missed the huge rushing touchdown. I think we had a really big rushing touchdown in this one, but I had the stats put up, so I don't know if I already missed it. Sorry. But anyway, like I was saying, I think live comm makes it a lot more interesting. Just because like you get my live reaction. Like the Kevin Harper series, that game where we beat Alabama in overtime, that was like the best situation to do live comm, because I was completely shocked that we beat Alabama, because we hadn't been able to beat good teams the entire time I was there, and we beat Alabama in OT. So that was just crazy to me, and it was a lot of fun. And obviously I see, you probably noticed that there's 4 points. That's what I'm trying to say. I was sacked twice for a safety, but I didn't show anything that didn't result in us getting a touchdown. So that's the reason that you didn't see the 2 safeties show up. This is already kind of a longer video than I've been doing the past few months, so I didn't want to put in those. But now we're on to game 5. We have 25 total TDs, and we're halfway through the regular season. Game 4, we went 18 of 24, 387 yards, 5 TDs, no interceptions, 95 rushing yards, and a touchdown, and we won 48-4. And this one is against Skya Took, and right there, you can't leave Guyan open. Guyan is the most OP player in high school, I think. Either him or Weisbecker. One of them, like, because it's always the same high school team. It's either Guyan or Weisbecker that, to me, is the most overpowered player in there. And this catch was kind of a stupid throw, actually. I mean, it resulted in a touchdown, but that was a really dumb throw. That probably should have been picked off. But as you can see, like, this team was putting up a little bit more of a fight. We're only up by 9 here. Go over the middle. Touchdown. Easy. And we're closing in on 30 total touchdowns. And I didn't think because before I started this series, I was thinking, you know what? Whenever I do the high school video, I'm just going to show all the touchdowns. It'll be like a 7-8 minute video. No. I didn't realize how many touchdowns you could actually score in high school. And right here, no one on this side of the field. So yeah, I'm just going to take off and get into the end zone. Easy touchdown there. And now we're on to Game 6. So let me tell you the stats from Game 5. Game 5, we went 17 of 27, 457 yards, 4 TDs, 2 interceptions, 89 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. And we won 44-14 to remain undefeated. So, I mean, we're doing pretty good. And this week we're playing Marlowe. Right there, just too easy of a throw. Hopefully you guys are excited for this series. I know this video is probably not that interesting just because it's high school highlights. But next video will be like our first game and stuff like that with whatever college we go to, which, like I said, you guys will find out at the end of the video. I think that you guys are really going to enjoy this series because I'm excited to do this series. I've kind of wanted to do Road to Glory quarterback for a while again on the channel. Kevin Harper was actually going to be a quarterback, but I decided because I did the Damian Fleming one before, I should probably do a running back and see if I enjoy that more. And it's just not fun whenever you're, to me, to other people it probably can be, but whenever you're not a quarterback in this, and I'll tell you the stats from Game 6 here in a second, whenever you are a quarterback in this series, it to me is the most fun, or in this like game, because as like a running back, you can't audible out of plays. As a receiver, I don't think you can audible out of plays. I'm not going to guarantee that, but I think the only one that can actually audible, even with enough coach trust, is the quarterback, because I couldn't audible as Kevin Harper. And we were in like our junior year whenever that series kind of got canned. So, I mean, that's just my thoughts on it. Like, I don't like not being able to determine the play sometimes. And especially whenever it's in stupid situations. Like, there were times we were down by 6 and our coach wanted to run the ball up the middle. It didn't make any sense to me. But before we accidentally move on to Game 8, before I tell you the stats, Game 6, we went 14 of 23, 352 yards, 4 TDs, an interception, 53 rushing yards, and a touchdown. And now we're on to Game 8. So let me tell you the stats from Game 7. 14 of 21, 359 yards, 4 TDs, 2 picks, 73 rushing yards, a touchdown, and we won 38-17. And then this game was just pretty much to try to go undefeated against Pauls Valley. Another thing that I normally do is I will go through and like mess with uniforms and stuff. I didn't do that in this series. I made sure their colors weren't stupid. That's all I did. I didn't change any of their uniforms. I messed with ours, and that was it. I made sure ours looked good. The rest of them, I just wanted to make sure the colors, were decent. And these colors, I probably didn't look at them. But yeah, green and orange doesn't look good. One other thing I want to talk about is this time around, I was kind of like surprised with how well I was able to take care of the ball. Because I've done a few Road to Glory quarterbacks like off recording just on my own time. And like normally in high school, I go for the stats, so like I just do throws like this all game, where I just kind of go deep and I end up throwing, a lot of picks, but you still get to go to, whatever college you want pretty much. And well, this time I was taking care of the ball pretty well there for a while. It was really surprising. I think at this point the most picks I had thrown in a game was 3, and that was like back in Game 3. And then this game, I'll tell you the stats at the end of it, but this game was actually pretty good. Obviously, you can see we're up 48-0. And then right here, just that DB had no chance, and Ostrander got behind him. So 54-yard touchdown pass up 55-0. And now we're into round 1 of the playoffs. And Game 8 stats, we went 12 of 15, only 3 incomplete passes, 457 yards, 6 TDs, no interceptions, 50 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. We won 55-0. Throughout the regular season, we had a grand total, or we completed 65% of our passes, 116 out of 178. We had 3,151 yards, 35 TDs, and 8 picks, and then we had 523 rushing yards and 14 touchdowns. So I think we had a pretty good regular season. We got a lot of offers. We actually did get, I think, an offer to... I think we actually ended up with offers from like a lot of Big 12 schools. because that's like what I was selecting mainly, and I don't know like how that works. But every time I've done this, like I select, like if I go in and I select like if Texas pops up and I select Texas, and then if Texas Tech pops up, I select Texas Tech, like the next week, like I won't get a lot of like other offers. I'll just get like Big 12 offers. So I don't know if that's the way this game actually works or if I'm just, you know, rambling at this point. But round one wasn't really a problem. Benito was really, really bad. We're up 42-7 at halftime. We're up to a grand total of 55 total touchdowns, which is ridiculous. And I never actually kept count of them before. I didn't realize, like, if this is just average, let me know. Because, like, if you keep count of yours or something. Because I didn't know, like, you scored this much in high school. I know I've ran over teams, but I didn't think it was this much. And then, you know, right there, another touchdown. I think we're up 55-7 now. Not even the fourth quarter. And what are the most... I just kind of want to look this... What are the most we scored in a game? I think it was 55, right? Well, right there, we just went over that. Yeah, the most we had scored is 55. And then in this game, let me go ahead and tell you the stats. Because we got pulled the entire fourth quarter. I went 14 of 20, 460 yards, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions, 97 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, and we won 72-7 in the first round of the playoffs. So we kind of demolished them. And then McAllister, was McAllister? No, never mind. I'll get to that game here in a second. A 38-yard touchdown pass there. As you saw, if you notice on the bottom of the screen, I had thrown 2 interceptions this game. Just gonna kind of spoil it. Now in the playoffs, I kind of got a little bit careless with the football. And I do apologize for that, but I was just like, you know what, just freaking heave it, and we'll see what happens. And then plays like that happen, where that probably should have been picked off, and I think that probably was picked off a few times before I actually, you know, connected with that. But like I said, I didn't show any interceptions in this video, and there, another touchdown pass, up to 63, which is crazy. And now nearing the end of the third quarter in this game, we're about to go up 42-3. This is the second round of the playoffs, and this team wasn't very good either. They might have been good in the regular season, but I guess they couldn't hang with us, and now we get 49-3, 65 total touchdowns at this point. That's crazy. And now we head to round 3, and they're already up 3-0. And round 2, we went 16 of 23, 391 yards, 5 TDs, 2 interceptions, 129 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. We won 59-3. And then here we're tied at 10. This team put up a fight. This is probably the toughest high school game I've ever played in this game. And I've played this game for like 2 years, so that's ridiculous. But now we're up 17-10. We're trying to go up by 2 scores here and get to the state championship and find Weisbecker in the back of the end zone. I'm hoping to make a lot of throws like that in college, no matter where I go. I think this might be the only play. Yes, this is the only play that did not result in our touchdown. I wanted to put this one in because it's kind of crazy. They stole the pitch, bad read by me, and then because the animation, I couldn't tackle him. I tried, but the running back tackling him like ruined my chance of getting to him, and he was able to break the tackle and then walk into the end zone. So now we're tied at 24 with 2.5 minutes to go. So like I said, this game was absolutely insane. DB overruns the route there, and Guyan is able to fight his way into the end zone, 31-24, and I believe that would be the final. And now we head to the state championship. We have 69 total touchdowns coming in, but in round 3 we went 13 of 22. 474 yards, 3 touchdowns. We threw 5 picks. And obviously the fumble, or I guess the pitch that they recovered, that counts as a fumble. So we had a grand total of 6 turnovers in that game. It was not pretty. But we also ran for 71 yards and a touchdown. We won 31-24. And then this game, as you can see, we crossed 70 total touchdowns, and Guyan's wide open. Hobart kind of put up a fight too there in the beginning. There's 21-13. But now we're into the second half of this game, and I don't know, I didn't write down the opponent's names. I think we might have played Hobart earlier in the season, and if we did, and I don't, like, I'm acknowledging that now, that if we did and I didn't notice it, I apologize. But 73 total touchdowns, we're up 28-13, one more touchdown will probably seal the deal. And then on 3rd and 19, just kind of broken routes, just going to heave it deep, and touchdown. And that, I believe, would be our last touchdown as a high school athlete. And then here are the season stats. 171 of 265, which goes to 65% of passes completed, so same as regular season. 52 touchdowns, 18 picks, 1,002 rushing yards, 22 touchdowns, and state champions. So this was pretty good. This is a pretty good season, I think. You know, state champs, that's awesome. Undefeated, that's awesome. I don't know if I've ever actually lost a high school game. I probably lost one, like, off recording or something. And I know you just saw most of them, but let me tell you the stats from the state championship game. We went 12 of 22, 276 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks, 182 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns. That was our best game on the ground in terms of yards. Best game for touchdowns was like game 2 or something. But and then you saw, the final stats. I threw 10 picks in the playoffs, mainly in the last 3 games. So that was ugly. I'm hoping to not do that too much in the college level. But let's figure out where Ryker Sterling is going to college. The first school that I was considering was the University of Alabama. Mainly because, they're constantly a powerhouse. They're going to always have a good team around you. They got the best running back in the country right now. And they're always going to have a good receiving core as well. Staying in the state of Alabama, we could go to Auburn and be the Tide's biggest rival and try to upset them a few times. And, they would be in the SEC, constant national exposure, maybe get a good look from the pros. Or we could go to a different SEC school and head to Georgia, where they've got, one of the best running backs in the country with Nick Chubb. They're always going to have good recruits because they're in the SEC as well. Maybe that'd be good for us. Okay, so now let's move out of the SEC a little bit, and we could head to the University of Michigan and be part of Jim Harbaugh's first year there, and maybe be his quarterback for the next 4 years. And they're also going to have a lot of good recruits. Once again, staying in the same state, we could go to Michigan State and learn from Connor Cook and maybe try to take his job. I know that seems unrealistic for a true freshman to come in and take a senior starter's job, but it could happen. But moving away from the Big Ten, we could also go to Oregon and be part of that high-flying offense, which would be a whole lot of fun. Obviously, we'd have to, make someone change their number because we can't be number 22 playing quarterback. But, we could go to Oregon and be part of that really, terrifying style of offense. Or we could head to USC and be part of the next great USC team, or at least try to be part of the next great USC team, and try to compete at the level that Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, and all of them were back whenever they were still in college. Or does Ryker Sterling stay in his home state and head to the University of Tulsa? No, he's probably not going to do that, but he could stay in his own state as there are 2 very good teams in Oklahoma. The first one we're going to look at is Oklahoma State. Now, this team seems to always be on the verge of being great. Even in real life this year, they were 2 wins away from being Big 12 champions. That's crazy. And maybe a star quarterback is what they need in order to, get past that. Or, he could head to that other school in Oklahoma, the University of Oklahoma. Now, obviously, this team is good. They've got receivers. They've got 2 very good running backs. And obviously in real life they don't have a quarterback situation, but in this world they could, because Baker's only an 83 overall in this game right now, and Ryker Sterling would be like an 83 or 84 coming in as a true freshman. So that could be very interesting. So that kind of leaves you with this question. Where is Ryker Sterling going to play college football? So a few days ago, some of you guys might remember that I released a channel update video with a straw poll in it that asked what type of series you wanted me to do. Your options were I could either do an Oklahoma offensive coordinator and take a Road to Glory quarterback somewhere else, or I could take an Oklahoma Road to Glory quarterback and take an offensive coordinator to a small school and build them up or rebuild them depending on where I go. Well, 37 of you guys voted, and it was a pretty lopsided vote, so pretty much here's the result. You guys voted for Ryker Sterling to be the new quarterback at Oklahoma. I mean, granted, it wasn't Ryker Sterling at the time, you didn't know his name, but you did vote for me to take a Road to Glory quarterback to Oklahoma, and it was a very, very lopsided vote, as you can see here. And I wasn't expecting it to be that lopsided, but I've already decided what school I'm going to do the offensive coordinator at, and you guys will figure that out in the introduction video. That should be out hopefully within the next couple days after this releases. I don't know when the regular season for this video is going to start. Hopefully it's in the next few days after this gets put out. But anyway, hopefully you guys are excited for this series because I know I am. And just to repeat myself from a few seconds ago, I don't know when the first video, or I guess second video, is actually coming out. I don't know when I will actually start the regular season. We have Oklahoma's 2013 schedule, so we'll open up against like ULM, I think. But anyway, like I said, hopefully you guys are excited for this series. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this nearly 20-minute video, and I will talk to you guys for week 1.